In this video, we are building a Power BI report using cryptocurrency as the data source. We're building a Power BI report using cryptocurrency as a data source. Now, real quick, so I know you probably already know, but here's the deal. This is video number 12 of a 16-part video series. Video number 12 of a 16-part video series, and I will be using this actual report that we're building to teach the Power of the BI Live course, Power of the BI live event. I don't know if we're gonna call it a course or not, but the Power of the BI live event in Dallas. I will be teaching this, using this report to teach the participants how to build a Power BI report using cryptocurrency as a data source. So basically this report itself, we are actually going to be using in our course so that individuals will be able to have a report. Actually, we're going to have 3 reports in our Power BI portfolios so that when we go out for, we'll start interviewing and speaking with recruiters in regards to can we build Power BI reports, or what's our experience in building Power BI reports. We're not just going to be talking about what we can do. We're actually going to be building, we're actually going to be displaying and demonstrating these reports, definitely this report itself. Now, what I do want to emphasize is that, again, as always, this report is not in any means, any way, a report for you, for me to say, hey, this is the cryptocurrency that I'm going to go buy based on this particular report, or the cryptocurrency that I'm going to invest in based on this particular video or this particular report. This report is simply giving us the experience to build a Power BI report, and it's giving us the experience to use cryptocurrency as a data source. And we are able to go out and grab the data, get data, and bring it into the Power BI report, and then manipulate the data the way that we need to manipulate it, and build our visuals the way that we need to build the visuals in Power BI. That's it. Now, can you use this in a real world scenario? And the answer to that is you probably can. You probably can, but I am not a financial expert, a finance expert, or even a cryptocurrency expert. This is just a matter of using this report, this video, in order to show you how to build a Power BI report using cryptocurrency as a data source. Now, before we get too deep into this particular video, I do want to let you know, I want to invite you over to participate in Power of the BI Live Dallas. Power of the BI Live Dallas is going to be in Dallas on May 1st and May 2nd. Not May 1st, yeah, May 1st and May 2nd. And basically, we're going to be doing everything Power BI. It's going to be 2 full days, 8 hours on May 1st and 8 hours on May 2nd, where I will be teaching all things Power BI. And at the end of the day on May 1st and at the end of the day on May 2nd, both days, we're going to have a social networking event at the end of both of those days. That's going to help us top off a hard day of work, a hard day of learning on May 1st and a hard day of learning on May 2nd. And then we're going to have a very nice social event, with 2 very nice social events for May 1st and May 2nd. So I want to invite you over for that. Now, if you are catching this video for the first time, well, not even for the first time, if you're catching this video live, and we're still in the month of March, So if you're catching this video live as we are speaking, because we are live on YouTube and we're live on Facebook and Instagram. If you're catching this video live today, you are going to be able to go over to the website, and we got the early bird special going on right now for the May 1st and the May 1st, May 2nd Power of the BI Live event. But if you are catching this, sometime at the end of March, or sometimes around, and the reason why I say that now is because the early bird actually ends. The early bird special actually ends tomorrow. So if you're catching it at the end of March or early April, Still invite you over to Power of the BI Live, but at the same time, just understand that this video, if you're catching it, at the end of March or early April, this is actually the rebroadcast. So the early bird special is not going to be going on. I can't necessarily guarantee that we're going to have any other slots. We'll have have slots still available for Power of the BI Live Dallas. But at the end of the day, that is what it is. I'm not here to really soup that up too much, even though, it's still my puppy. It's my baby. You know what I'm saying? So I am going to soup it up a little bit because, that's what I do. I teach Power BI. Anyway, so with that said, again, this is video number 12 of a 16 video series. The reason why we're doing it I'm not even on the screen, I'm sorry. The reason why, thank you very much. The reason why we're doing it in 16 different parts is because the overall goal that I'm really trying to get across here is that creating a Power BI report really is not that difficult. Creating a Power BI report really is not that difficult, right? It's just a matter of having the mindset that, there is, you can call it some, programming, that's part of it, but we don't do a whole lot of programming or coding when it comes to Power BI. We do some coding, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit. But we do some coding, but we don't do a whole lot of coding. As a matter of fact, I've got friends that are building Power BI reports that don't do any coding, right? It's just drag and drop. Pretty much what you've been seeing me do for the last 11 videos, that's what we do. We drag and drop, right? And the reason why we drag and drop is because we've already brought the data in, so we're just placing the data where it needs to be. So, if you've seen the last few videos, I've just been dragging and dropping because I've brought the data in. Now, the big thing about Power BI is that we can make Power BI so much more dynamic, right? And what I mean by dynamic, we can make it change, we can make it move, we can make things move around. And that comes with some coding, and the coding in Power BI is called DAX. It's data analytics expression, and we build measures, right? Basically, fancy term for code, right? Just fancy term for code. But for the most part, coding in Power BI is nothing like Java, nothing like C++, and Python. We could use Python, but it's not something that we do. I have used Python on a report before. And I talked about that on a previous video, but it's 99% of the time you don't need it, right? Most of the coding is like maybe 3-4 words and maybe 2 lines of something, but it's nothing like, no, it's not that big of a deal. Because you got to understand, when we're coding in Power BI, we're coding on a visual, on a pie chart or a column chart, right? So it's not that difficult. And the reason why I emphasize the code piece in my course is because I don't want you to get out there on a project or get out there on a job or a contract or something, and then you're not able to make your project more dynamic or not even understand that there's some other things that you can do to really jazz your report up, right? There's some guys out there you're going to compete against, for those 6-figure jobs, and they don't know what the hell they're doing more than a man on the moon, right? But, that's a long story short. But bottom line is, you don't have to know a whole lot of coding when it comes to Power BI, and I do teach you the basics of the coding that you do need to know. But at the end of the day, let's get to moving. Again, we're on video number 12 of a 16-part video series. And basically what we have done in this particular series, testing, can you hear me? Yeah, you can hear me. I got it. Right. Let's see. Testing. We need a little bit more volume. Can you hear me now? You can, but I can hear an echo. Testing. Okay. So we're on video number 12 of a 16 video series. Again, we're going to use this report as one of the reports in our Power BI portfolio. So I'm going to actually be teaching and showing you how to build this actual report in Power of the BI Live in Dallas on May 1st and on May 2nd. So I've already gone through in previous videos. I'm sure you followed through. If you haven't followed through and you want to, um, we're live on Instagram, we're live on YouTube, and we're live on Facebook. Um, those that are live on Instagram, you can go over to my YouTube channel, Power of the BI, or is it the CTO? Yes, Power of the BI. You can go to Power of the BI and you can follow along with this, live on YouTube. In addition to, if you want to build out the visuals, build out the report as we go through, all you have to do is download Power BI Desktop. If you don't know how to download Power BI Desktop, go to one of the previous videos. We talked about that in one of the previous 11 videos as well. If you want to know the data source is coming from, the data source is coming from one of the previous 11 videos as well. So if you feel like we might be going a little bit too fast for you, what I'll say is just go over to grab the Power BI Desktop and then grab Power BI Desktop. And what else do you need? I don't know. I forgot what I was going to say. But you need the data source. You need Power BI Desktop, you need the data source, and both of those in previous videos. So what I would do, as I've done in previous videos, is that I will just recap some of the things, some of the visuals that we currently have. Basically, every visual is independent, right? Now, they interact with one another, but where I'm going with that is that building a Power BI report is really relatively simple, right? I'm going to say relatively because some people may not know how to drag and drop, but we teach drag and drop. But line charts, pretty much all of, I don't want to say all, but a line chart. We learn how to build line charts in the 5th and 6th grade, right? We learn how to build line charts, and that's all this is. It's just a line chart. We're just dragging and dropping a line chart. And here we've got on this line chart, I'm not going to go into all of that. You just know that on a line chart, you got an X and a Y axis. Previous video, I showed you how to build this line chart. Previous video, I showed you how to build this clustered column chart, right? Again, we've got an X and a Y axis. Previous video, I showed you how to build this table. And basically this table visual is nothing more than just a spreadsheet. That's all a table visual is a spreadsheet. A line chart, a clustered column chart, well, say a line chart and a column chart, we've built in 5th and 6th grade, right? If you've had 5th grade math, you've built a line chart and a column chart before. If you've been anywhere in the universe and you had to deal with Excel or Google Sheets, all this is a spreadsheet, right? Showed you how to build this in the previous video. We have a bar chart. Again, this is a 5th and 6th grade 5th and 6th grade math visual that we created, and we're getting paid 6 figures to build this report. A pie chart, again, 5th and 6th grade math. It may have even been 3rd and 4th grade talking about a pie chart. I want to say probably at least 4th grade talking about a pie chart. Here we have a funnel visual. Funnels, I don't think we really messed around with those in 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. But they're not too hard to figure out. They're not too hard to figure out, too hard to understand. So those are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 visuals that we built out. And then again, you got to remember, we added another visual in the visual where we actually showed red, yellow, and green. I think I said before, I've got to go back and add that back in. It actually deleted out when I didn't save my program. I didn't save my report the last time, but that's okay. But at the end of the day, things happen, and I'm glad that I shoot these videos live so that I can make some mistakes live, and then you can see that it's okay to make a mistake. And then I also show you how to correct your mistakes. Up top, we have another visual. This visual is a slicer visual, and in this slicer visual, we have all the names we have the names of the cryptocurrencies that we are analyzing with building out this report. Then we have a 24-hour bucket where we have the values over a 24-hour period, and we're seeing that it is, different price ranges from 0.0051 to 0.01, and it goes down, right? So these two are slicer visuals. And the next visual we have is a card visual. And basically this card visual we brought in was showing the volatility score for the volatility score for the cryptocurrencies. Now, the volatility score did require a measure. I don't want to confuse you too much, but I created a measure to bring in the volatility score. But I haven't created any other measures for any other reports. Everything else is just drag and drop. Then we have the card visual that gives us the total count of cryptocurrencies that we are evaluating, analyzing here in this report. So, and we have a total of 601 cryptocurrencies that we are evaluating and analyzing. So that gives us 11, 1, 2, 3, and then we had another visual that we had inside this visual, so that'd be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And we are on visual number 12. We're on visual number 12. So visual number 12 is, I've already brought in one card, I brought in two cards, so I'm gonna bring in one more card. Because, and a lot of times, a lot of Power BI reports, sometimes it may only be cards. Now, I don't like to use all the same visuals, but I've got an idea of how I want this report to end up. So what I'm gonna do, I brought in a card. Let me back up because I didn't tell you what I was doing. I'm coming over to the visualizations tab. Let me move myself around. I'm coming over to the visualizations tab, and I know that I'm coming down to the card visual. I'm gonna click the card visual, and now I get space for the card visual. And what I want to do here is I'm going to go to price, the price of each one of the cryptos. And if I add all the prices of all of the 601 cryptos together, I get a sum of $111,027. But 111,027.27. But I don't want to get the sum of all the cryptos. I want to know what the average price of the crypto is. I want to get the average price. So I'm just going to come over here, and I am going to do a drop down, and I'm going to select average. And now I see that the average price is $185. Now, to be honest, I know that the average price really is not $185 because it's just not. But the price of Bitcoin at such a high price is currently at 72,000. That's what's really driving the average price. What I'm going to do here is I want this just to be in 2 decimal places. So I am going to find that price, and I am going to go over to auto and I'm just going to, oh, you know what? I'm gonna do no decimal places. So it just says the average is $185. Now, what I also want to do here, let's see, CMNC Mac on Instagram. Welcome to Power of the BI Live. Welcome to Power of the BI Live. So what I am going to do is I'm going to now start building out some spacing, because I know now if I got 12 visuals on here, I need to start making sure that I can actually have room to add 4 more, or even decide how I want to make that look. Let's see here. Dun, dun, dun. So what I am going to do is just get some spacing going on here. So I've got the name, and I've got to see what this, I just did something. I think I changed. Yeah, I changed the name to something else. Okay, so I got the name, and I got my 24-hour bucket. I don't remember exactly what I was calling for in this 24-hour bucket, but we'll get that figured out before we finish this thing up. So now all I'm doing now is I'm trying to get an idea of spacing of all the different visuals as we build a report. Dun, 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 dun. It's going to be real tight to get 16 visuals. But I said I was going to put 16 on here. I may do the other ones inside, do the visuals inside the visual like we did the slicer. But I said I was going to do it, and doggone it, we are going to make it happen. Now, as we're building out and adding space here, just a little bit more information about Power BI itself. Power BI is a Microsoft product, just like PowerPoint, Excel. I'm going to date myself a little bit, but Publisher, I'm not necessarily sure if Publisher is still even a thing. But Power BI is a Microsoft product. The thing that I emphasize with Power BI mostly is that it's a free Microsoft product and it's a commercial Microsoft product. What do you mean by that, T? Well, so with let's just say with Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, you've got to pay for those. Whether you pay for on a monthly subscription or an annual subscription, you pretty much have to pay for those. Whereas with Power BI Desktop, you can just go over to the Microsoft site and you can download Power BI Desktop for free. The reason, and when I say Power BI Desktop, what I'm working in right now is Power BI Desktop. Now, as of the recording of this video, you do need a PC in order to create in order to download Power BI, well, in order to work with Power BI Desktop on your desktop. It doesn't work on any other operating systems. Now you can create Power BI reports with other operating systems, but if you do it online, which is called Power BI Service. But for the most part, in order to build a Power BI report, as I'm doing here with Power BI Desktop, you must have a PC. But at the end of the day, what I was really trying to say was that Power BI Desktop is a free application. The reason why I believe it's a free application, and I don't work for Microsoft, I don't contract with Microsoft, I don't have any insider information, but the reason why I believe that it's free is because it's kind of a marketing tool for Microsoft so that they can get as many people actively involved in developing Power BI reports as possible, so that they make it free. And then if they got developers out there, it makes it more accessible for companies to go out and find individuals that know how to build Power BI reports. Now, the one thing that I also emphasize in my course, Power of the BI, is that you don't have to go to school to be a Power BI developer. Now, is that the route that many take? Yeah, but you don't, right? So, and I didn't go to school to be a Power BI developer, right? This is something that I learned, and now I am teaching and sharing my information with those that want to know about it as well, or how to develop as well. But at the end of the day, you don't have to go to school to be a Power BI developer. And even though you don't go to school, you don't have to go to school to be a Power BI developer. You can still make as much money, or maybe even more sometimes, than those that did go to school, because you had enough time to figure this thing out. And that's what I emphasize in my course, Power of the BI. I encourage my students to not take any positions that's less than $105,000, $110,000. I encourage my students not to take a position that's more than more than 110, but the 115,000 is really a max. Because you can get Power BI jobs out there, hitting anywhere from 120 to 150. The reason why I don't encourage that with my students is because they're not experienced enough. Now, probably within about a year and a half, 2 years, they'll have the experience. But right now, it's a matter of getting the experience and then going out and then building those reports and taking those higher jobs. But for the most part, I don't encourage it because I don't want you to get out there and get caught up and then find yourself on a job that you don't really know what you're doing. And typically, the higher the pay range, the greater the expectation. Now, the one advantage that you do have as a student of Power of the BI is we have a serious network of individuals. So if you get on the job and there's something that you need to figure out, or you don't know what you're doing, so you get on the job and you don't know what you're doing, it's something that's tricky, you've got direct access to our team to get you going in the right direction. Basically what I'm doing here is I am just, again, building out the spacing, the spatial arrangement for this report so that I can see how many other legitimate visuals I can bring onto this report. And we're gonna actually build this thing out, over time. We're getting pretty close now because, as I said before, we're going to have 16 visuals on this particular report. And currently we are at visual number 12. And I think we are wrapping this thing up. But again, for those that are interested, not for those, for you in specific, if you're interested in learning Power BI, I am teaching or holding a 2-day course or a 2-day live event on May 1st and May 2nd in Dallas at the Omni Hotel. If you are coming from somewhere outside of the Dallas Metroplex, I encourage you to go ahead on and make your reservations at the Dallas Omni Hotel if you want to stay at the host hotel. I don't get any kickbacks from the hotel. They're not giving me any discounts because I couldn't guarantee them, or I wouldn't guarantee them the number of people that'll be there because space is limited, and the number of rooms they wanted me to book, I would not succumb to the pressures of having to commit a certain number. But bottom line is, if you would like to stay at the host hotel, which is the Dallas Omni downtown, I encourage you to go out and get your reservations. There's a lot going on in Dallas around that time, so I encourage you to make your reservations. If you decide to change your mind, at least you can cancel, within the time period that you're given to make cancellations. If you are serious about participating in Power of the BI Live, I encourage you to go to my website, powerofthebi.com. That's powerofthebi.com. Go up the courses, select Power of the BI Live Dallas. And again, if you're logged on now, I think we're in mid-March. Well, I know we're in mid-March. The early bird special is ending this weekend. If you are catching this on the replay, which will be at the end of March, early April, you will have missed the early bird, but that's okay if you want to participate. If we still have space, again, go over and powertobi.com, powertobi.com, select courses, Power to BI Live Dallas, and register. Now, again, I'm not getting any kickbacks or anything like that from the Omni Hotel. If you want to stay somewhere else, you may have points somewhere else. That's cool. We're just going to be holding an event at the Omni Hotel. That doesn't mean you have to stay at the Omni Hotel, right? Now, that does mean you do need to register for Power of the BI, but you don't have to stay at the Omni Hotel. If you got family, friends in the Dallas area, you know how to make this thing happen. You go out there and, stay with your people and come up to the hotel. Now, your registration, registering for Dallas, registering for Power of the BI Live, even though you don't stay at the hotel, you still get to participate in the social events during the evening of May 1st and May 2nd at the hotel. So, the only thing that you wouldn't be doing would be staying at the hotel if you chose not to. So you don't have to do that. Again, I don't get paid by Microsoft. I don't work for Microsoft. I just choose, or I have chosen Power BI to be my I've chosen Power BI to be my data visualization tool of choice. There are several other data visualization tools out there, but I've chosen Power BI to be my data visualization tool. Cryptocurrency. Again, this video, you can use this. You can use this report. You can use this report to do whatever you want to do, but I am not insinuating that this report is in any way something that I'm encouraging you to go out and buy certain cryptocurrency. I am not trying to say that I am giving you any investment advice. I'm only showing you how to build a Power BI report using cryptocurrency, right? Using cryptocurrency. You can do whatever you want to do with it, but don't say that T said, hey, go invest in this. But you will be able, I am going to be teaching you how to build. If you haven't already started with me either on YouTube, well, started with me on YouTube and building out this report, I am going to be teaching this same report in my course, in my 2-day event, Power the BI Live. It's going to be one of the videos. It's going to be one of the Power BI reports that we're going to create for your for your Power BI portfolio. I'm sorry. It's going to be one of the reports that you're going to be creating for your Power BI portfolio, and there are going to be three Power BI reports, at least 3 Power BI reports in your portfolio when you leave Dallas, or when you leave the event on May 2nd. So, with that said, again, if you are chiming in with us live, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, you still have time for the early bird special for Power the BI Live. If you are catching the replay, hey, thanks for catching the replay, but the early bird special is over, right? The early bird special is ending May 15th. I mean, not May 15th, March 15th. So, with that said, thank you for joining in, and I look forward to seeing you again in the next video.